Hey guys, it's me, Travis, the CEO and founder of PlayerProps.ai. This video is going to go over how to use the player prop predictor on the PlayerProps.ai app. Now, if you are using the desktop version, everything is exactly the same. It's just, of course, a wider screen. So I'm going to go through everything that it shows, and if there's any questions whatsoever that this video does not answer, simply ask me in the Discord. And that's the first thing you need to do. Before you do anything, there's a few things that is 100% mandatory. First, before you use a tool or just assume you know how to use it, it is in your best interest and in your bankroll's best interest to go to every single tool, and there's 3 here, there's 3 more here, there are 2 more here and 2 here. There are currently 10 tools on the app. Every single tool has this pink purple button at the top. You see me hovering over it on the screen. It says tap to learn. That's when this video pops up on the player prop predictor. And there's also a video for every single other tool. Do not assume you know how to use it. Even if you are correct, make sure you tap, learn how to use it, and then we'll go from there. So here is specifics for the player prop predictor. Here we have a calendar. I'm actually recording this not on September 7th. I'm recording this a few days before, but you can advance to whatever day you want to. If we have the sportsbook offering props or lines for something, if we have our AI models having projections for it, if we have historical data for the player or the team, then you'll find it. Because we have all of that available for September 7th, even though technically I'm recording this a week earlier, you can see it because we have those 3 things available. So you can always play around and see, okay, is there any data for this day, any data for this day? And for the weekly sports like college football and NFL, you can typically advance up to 7 days in advance to be able to view them. But for daily sports like WNBA, NBA, MLB, all of those other ones we feature, you can just sometimes skip to the day ahead if we already have projections for the following day. So let's go through all the little features up here at the top. So we have this here will show you what sports are available for the day you selected. Because this is 7 days in advance of me making this video, the only sport that has all the data on September 7th is NFL. But if you're choosing this for the day of, you'll see WNBA, MLB. If you're choosing this, in November, for example, you'll see NHL, you'll see NBA as well. This is you choosing the source. This is choosing a specific sports book, but I want to stress to you, it does not matter 100% what you choose on this list. And what I mean is, if let's say you have a sports book available to you that is not shown here, that doesn't mean you can't use the player prop predictor. If you are using an app or a sports book that is not listed here, that does not mean you cannot use it. It just makes it a little bit easier if you are using one of these specific books. So we have WannaParlay.online, which we go through in another video. There's 22 states that this specific one's in, and this actually lets you do money lines, spreads, and totals in states that typically don't have legal betting yet. So if you are in one of those states, check it out, see if you're eligible to play on that. But anyway, what this does is it shows you specifically what... Oop, I clicked too far. It shows you specifically what the line is available on that book. So right now, as of this second, FanDuel for Parker Washington for September 7th for NFL on FanDuel for receiving yards. We haven't gone over this one yet, but this is where you choose the prop or the stat that you want to look at. 13.5, over under 13.5 is Parker Washington on FanDuel. We change it to DraftKings. We have Theo Washington. His line right now on DraftKings is 14.5. So all this really does is just kind of show you the line here. The lines aren't always the same across all of the books, which is why we have you can look at a bunch of different ones here, but they're going to be somewhat close to each other. So again, if you have a book or an app that is not listed here, you can still use this tool for it. We just gone over how this is how you find specific stats. You just simply click, I want to do passing yards, I don't want to look at receiving yards anymore, and you tap away, and then boom, it's all passing yard stuff now. So this right here is the filter. So when we tap the filter, we can change a bunch of things where the app only shows us specific parameters. So let's go over all the different ones here real quick. So for the line, we're at receiving yards. Let's say we only want to see a line that is 40 and higher, right? So I want to see lines that are 40 and higher, which means I do not want to see lines that are under 40 receiving yards over under. So we move that to 40, we click apply. So every single player here has a receiving yards line of 40 or higher because that's what we just set. This one sets the minimum accuracy. So right here, this data is our AI accuracy, and I'll explain right now what this means. So this means for Davante Adams, there are 13 games we've recorded in our system where we had a DraftKings line for his receiving yards. We had an AI projection for that game for his receiving yards, and then we knew if he got that line or if he didn't get that line. So look at Davante Adams. So right now, as of this example, his line is over under 49.5 for this game. This is right here, projection. This is the AI projection. We don't bet that he's going to get 68 receiving yards. That's not how you use this. You don't bet on this number. This just says that he's going to get more than 49.5. So you want to go the over. So because the AI is saying he should go over 49.5, if he does get 50 receiving yards or more, then the accuracy goes up because the AI was correct. But let's say, for example, his projection was 5. Doesn't matter what his projection was, but let's just say it's lower than 49.5. If Davante Adams does not get 50 receiving yards or more, the AI was correct because the AI said he was going to get less than 49.5. So if the AI was correct, this accuracy number is still going to go up. So this is not his hit rate. This is not how many times he got 49.5. That's what the green and red stuff down here, that's what this stuff tells you. How many times has he gone over this line or has he hit this line? The AI accuracy is specifically how many times was the AI correct on if it said it was going to go over or if he said it was going to go under. So that's what that means. And then you can say like, okay, I want to see players who only have an AI accuracy of 58 and higher. Click apply. Every player here, we now have 2 active filters. We have a line filter of 40 and higher, and we have an accuracy filter of 58 and higher. So the only players we see on screen have a receiving yards line of 40 or higher and an accuracy of 58 or higher. So that's how you play around with the filters here. You can do difference. Difference is this square or rectangle right here. Let's say you only want to see plays that have a 26% difference or higher. You can change it to that. If you want to see plays that have a specific odd, so let's say, for example, you're looking at a stat that tends to have really high odds like minus 500, minus 600, and you don't want to see those. So let's say I only want to see odds that are no worse than minus 190. You can click apply, and if something's minus 200 or minus 250, it will not show. So that is how you use the filters. And if you want to reset all of it, just tap on reset, click apply, easy peasy. This is what we're sorting by. The default sort is difference. So out of all of the receiving yards props for September 7th for DraftKings for NFL, the auto sort or the default sort is difference, which is this number again right here. The difference is what is the percentage difference between what the AI is saying, which in this case 28.43 receiving yards for Theo, and what the sportsbooks are offering, 14.5. There is a 96% difference between 28.43 and 14.5. So we're sorting by default by the biggest edge. Which player has the biggest edge for receiving yards for this day? But let's say you don't want to do that. You want to sort by who has the highest hit rate in the last 5 games, which means who's hit their line today the most in the last 5 games. So you go last 5, and everybody here is going to have the highest number. So we have 100% hit rate last 5, 100%, 100%. You can do the same thing for last 20. Who's got the highest hit rate? Only Jonnu Smith is the only player who's hit his current line 100% of the last 10 games played, and then it goes down to 90, and then 90 for all the other players. If you want to sort by who has the highest hit rate over the course of the season, I mean, there's no games played yet, but once there are games, you can sort by that. If you just want to see who has the highest projection, now here's a little trick. If you're doing fantasy football or fantasy sports in general, sort by projection, and it'll show you which players have the highest projection regardless of any of the other data. So out of all receivers for this week, for the games played on September 7th, Jamar Chase has the highest receiving yard projection, 91.88. Then it's Brian Thomas. Then it's Puka Nacua. And so when you're doing fantasy football, you can use this app to figure out which players have the higher projection. Accuracy, you can sort by who is easier to predict for the AI, who has the highest head-to-head hit rate. So that's just what you're sorting by. But again, the default is difference. Now, something else to pay attention to. So let's switch to FanDuel here. So look at, this is over-under toggle. So when we have over, we're looking to sort by the highest percentage difference that is higher than the line. So again, Parker Washington on FanDuel right now has the highest percentage difference for an overplay. If we click on under, then we look here, RJ Harvey, rookie out of UCF, running back for the Denver Broncos. He has the highest percentage difference for an underplay. There are no other receiving props on FanDuel right now that have our AI saying a lower projection than the actual available line than RJ Harvey. He's at a 14% difference. So that means that 10.72, his AI projection, is 14% less than his line of 12.5. So this is just simply sorts it by if you're looking for under or over plays. This is a search bar, self-explanatory. You can search for players. It's recommended to use their last name because that's the most unique part typically about a player. If you keep typing John, you're gonna get all the Johns, but type the last name. You don't even have to type all of the last name. Like for Washington, I could type WAS here and only players with WAS in their last name will show. This is one of the newest features, which is why we're recording this video, the newer version of this video. After you're in the Discord, which I still want to stress, you will not be as successful as you want to be unless you're in the Discord with your account synced. Now, there's plenty of videos that teach you how to do that, but to get in the Discord, you just click on the Discord logo. Once you get in the Discord, there's a channel that's called Unlock Channels. And if you want to unlock channels, just do the one step in the channel called Unlock Channels. It'll connect your Discord to your PlayerProps.ai account, and it'll open up all the free channels for you, or the premium ones if you've already upgraded. One of the things we look for, which there's a channel in the Discord, a free channel called trifectas, is when we have a player who has a specific percentage difference, a specific line, a specific side that the sports books are favoring. So we're gonna go through this in a second. I kind of already went through this stuff. So when we go back to DraftKings, we can tap the T button here, and you see that every single player that's a trifecta, you see that they're highlighted with this blue button that literally says trifecta on it. So all of these players are trifectas for NFL receiving yards. So they have a specific line, which for NFL receiving yards is 40 or higher. The sports books favor the same side that the AI favors. So we just talked about Devontae Adams earlier. His AI projection is at 68, which means the AI favors him going over 49.5. The sports books also favor him going over 49.5 because the line right now is minus 159. If you don't know what these numbers mean yet, we do the math for you. Whenever you see minus 159 for any bet whatsoever, that means the sportsbooks give it a 61.39% chance to hit. So this is the math of what minus 159 means. So that's the sportsbooks are saying he's projected to go over or implied to go over because they're assigning the over a minus 159 odd, which is a 61% chance to hit. The AI is saying he's going to go over because it gives him a 68 receiving yard projection for a 49.5 line. All of those things combined, that's what we call a trifecta. 40 or higher for the line. This is receiving yard specific for NFL or college football. 40 or higher for the line. The sports books agree with the AI projection. That's the second one. And the difference is a certain number as well. So if this was like 50.0 and it's still the AI favoring the over, there's not enough edge there for us to even bother betting it. But because there is a lot of edge, there's a 38% difference. That's why this is a trifecta. So again, if you want more information on trifectas, there is a video that goes over trifecta specifically in the trifectas channel in Discord that you 100% must be in if you're going to take betting seriously. So we talked about the search, we talked about this trifecta button. You can toggle it on and off. This, of course, just shows you specific games. So here's all of the games for September 7th. But let's say we only want to look at players from one specific game. You just tap on it. So we just clicked on Carolina versus Jacksonville, which means all of the players on our screen are only from Carolina and Jacksonville. Let's say there's 2 games you want to toggle. You can click 2, and all of the players will be from either of these 2 games. If you want to unclick them, you can. If you just want to reset and have none of them clicked, just tap on all, and that's how you go from there. We have the player name. We have the player position. Theo Johnson, tight end. We have the matchup, New York Giants at Washington. We have the date. We have the time. There's a star here, and this is another new feature we have. Let's say that you like Theo Johnson and you want to make sure that you remember that you like him as you're going through all of the tools on the app. All you have to do is click the star here and make the star turn yellow. What does that do? It adds him to your favorite list. And you might be asking yourself, where do I find the favorite list of all of the props and all of the team bets that I liked and I clicked on the star? Go up to the top left of the app you see here and just tap on the star. If I click on the star, it'll show me every player that I've added to my favorite list. So there's only one so far we've added. Theo Johnson, player prop. This is the game. O for over, 14.5 is the line, receiving yards is the stat. This thing here where you see a star in the number 1, I know it's really small on screen. This is a very new feature that we just dropped this week, which doesn't matter if you're watching this months in advance. But what this does is this tells you, out of everybody that use PlayerProps.ai, how many other people have clicked the star on Theo Johnson over receiving yards. So because we're recording this so far in advance, and I know nobody's gone to this point and added them to a favorite list, it's 1. But on NFL Sunday's day of, if you find something that you like and you click it on the favorite and you see like 45 or 100 other stars here, then you know that you're using this app correctly because everybody else also likes this play. You don't have to solely rely on that. You can just take a screenshot of Theo Johnson, drop it in the Discord, and be like, hey, do you guys, I'm looking at doing over Theo Johnson. Do you guys like this play as well? You can do it in Discord, and you can also reference how many stars there are on the prop. Let's get rid of Theo Johnson. We can either click the trash can here for every individual prop or bet we've added, or just click clear all, and of course, it clears all. That is a favorite list. You click on the star, add it to the favorites, you go to the star up top to look at the list. So Theo Johnson, DraftKings receiving yards. We already said this is his line. This is the AI accuracy through 10 games where we've projected his over or his under. The AI has been correct 50%, so 5 out of 10 games. And then you go down here to Andre. He's got a much higher AI accuracy, 76.9%. You want to kind of stay away from the ones that are like 30%. That doesn't mean the AI sucks. It means that the player is very unpredictable, and we don't like betting on players that are unpredictable. They should go over when they don't. They should go under when they don't. So we stay away from them. 60% for NFL is typically a really good accuracy. Prime accuracy we call 60% or higher. This, again, we already went over this. This is the odds for the side. So if you were going over Theo Johnson receiving yards for DraftKings right now as of the second has his over 14.5 line at minus 211 odds, which is a 67.85% implied chance to hit. This is the AI projection. This is the percentage difference. And again, these are the hit rates. Theo Johnson has covered 14.5 receiving yards in 100% of his last 5 games. In 80% of his last 10 games, he has not played this season, so this is why it's NA. Once he starts playing for this season, once the season starts, this will be populated. And against the opponent, which he's versing Washington, in the last 365 days, he's hit this line 100% of the time against Washington. There's one more thing we need to talk about for the player prop predictor. You can, well, actually 2 things. Bet now. We added a feature where you click on bet now, and right now we've only built this in for a few sports books, but let's say you're in a state that has DraftKings and you want to bet him on DraftKings, right? Okay, I want to give him DraftKings, I want to get him over 14.5. You don't have to leave the app and pull up your DraftKings sportsbook. You can actually click this bet now button. It will pull up FanDuel or whatever sportsbook you click on. It'll pull up that app, and it'll already have over 14.5 receiving yards in the bet slip. So it just automatically adds it where you don't have to go search for it. So that's a cool new feature we added as well. But the last thing, tap anywhere here on the player, and it'll pull up the player card, which is the sexy graphs you see on social media that everybody's sharing. So this here, this is all the same data at the top that we just looked at. Everything's the same. You see there's a little circle eye icon. When you tap on that, it'll show when the rosters are available, who's starting for each team here, for the team and for the opponent. So yeah, this is the sexy bar graph stuff. This will show you individual receiving yards for every single game. So dating back to the first week of last season, this is the day of the opponent. This is if it was at home or away. So at Seattle here. So you see at Seattle, that means it was an away game. You see Cincinnati, that means it was a home game because there's no at symbol. It says the date and how many receiving yards they got. This gray line you see going across the back of these bars, that's his current line. So his current line is 14.5, and it's like, hey, this is where 14.5 is, and as you see, all of these green bars are over 14.5. This here just changes the bar graph. Let's say you only want to see the bar graph of the last 5 games, the last 10 games, the last 20 games, games this season, or games against Washington. He only played against Washington one time. It was on November 3rd, 2024, and he got 51 yards. Let's go back to last 10. Let's say that you're using a book that is not available here. It's not built into the site. You're using, just call it, I don't know, other book. And let's say the other book has Theo Johnson at 15.5 yards. Well, I want to see this data, not at 14.5. I want to see it, what does he do at 15.5? Go down here to this alt line toggle and just change this here to 15.5. And it moves the gray bar up and it changes all of this data. So as you keep clicking, you see that gray bar go up, you change the line and it'll change the hit rates. So let's say, for example, you're looking at 38.5. For whatever reason, his hit rate now in the last 10 is only 40%. At his current line of 14.5, it's 80%. So you can play around with this and you can change the data based on the line that you're looking at. This is line movement. If his line changed from 14.5 to 15.5 or dropped down to 13.5 or anything like that, you'll see when it moved and what it moved to. But as of recording, his line hasn't changed at all since it opened. And again, the last part here, extra projections. So instead of you coming up here and changing the stat to all of the other stats available, you can just come here and see, okay, his anytime touchdown stat, ATD, anytime touchdown, he's got a 27.27. That's also, you can say, a 27% chance to get into the end zone. His projected receptions, 2.86. LRC, that is longest reception. His projected longest reception is 15.61 yards, and his receiving yards projection is 28.43 yards. The last question you might be asking yourself is, why is this green and why are these red? Here is his last 3 games average. In the last 3 games he's played, he's averaged 0 touchdowns. He's averaged 17 for the longest reception, 17 receiving yards. He's averaged 4 receptions per game, and he's averaged 43.33 receiving yards. If this number on the left side under projections is higher than his last 3 game average, it'll be green, which is why this is green. If this number here, so receiving yards 28.43, is less than his last 3 average receiving yards, that's why it's red. So it'll compare his last 3 average of what he's actually done, and it'll show you the projections for other stats that we projected for him. So that, ladies and gentlemen, in a nutshell, is how the player prop predictor works. Again, if you have any questions whatsoever, there's a Discord of over 17,000 people, including myself, that are more than happy to help you out at any step of the way. It is very, very important, whether you are a free and or premium user, that you're in the Discord. You will not be as successful as you can possibly be in sports betting if you're not in the Discord. I do not care if you do not have a Discord account. It is a free thing to create if you are taking betting seriously, if you're tired of losing all your money. It is your responsibility to apply yourself and to do all of the things available to you that are free. Create a free Discord account. Get into the free Discord. Connect your accounts by going to the unlocked channels and doing that one step. This button up here is our YouTube channel. It's extremely important to your success to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I drop videos every single day that help you bet better, and it teaches you how to use stuff, and it teaches you, how to research in general. This is the favorite list. This goes to your profile. This is the calendar. And again, for the love of all that's holy, go to every single tool and go click this button. You'll see one of these videos pop up. Any other questions, please let me know. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is how to use the player prop predictor. It works the same way for every single sport: NFL, NBA, MLB, WNBA, NHL, college football, college basketball, the whole 9 yards. We'll see you guys in Discord, and thanks for checking out the PlayerProps.ai app.